Hello everyone, what's happening? It's been a while since the last video and I'm not even going to attempt to go over all the action that I've missed since the last video, so because I ramble on enough as it is talking about just one weekend's action. So I'm going to just try and stick to the horses I've put up in these videos, the ones that I've ran over the last couple of weeks and the ones that are due to run over the Christmas period, and I'll try my best to keep this video as short as possible because I don't want to go on for like over an hour or something like this, and it definitely was if I was rambling on about all the action over the last couple of weeks. Little side note, sorry if I look like some PC gamer. I'm having a problem with the volume on my laptop, so I just thought it'd be better off recording it like this. And another little side note, this Wayne Harrison that keeps on commenting on all my videos and he's deleting the comments before I even get a chance to reply back to little shithouse. So Wayne, if you've got anything to say to me, my Twitter's sracing, message me on that one. Instead of hiding behind some Jag YouTube account, you're boring me. I know I'm not alone in this, I know he's commenting on everybody's videos, but he's just an absolute loser, isn't he? So Wayne, sracing, that's my Twitter, get on me on that son. Stop commenting on these YouTube videos, but when I can't even have a chance to comment back, stop being a shithouse. So anyway, we'll move on to we'll start with the horses that have ran for me over the last couple of weeks before I touch on the weekend's action coming up over the Christmas period. So the first horse is Gaillard Du Mesnil. I've put this horse up at 25-1 for the RSA Festival Novice Chase. He's come out and he's lost his beginner's chase. It's never what you want to see, and of course it was disappointing. But this horse, don't forget, got beat 8 lengths by Holy Macapony on his seasonal debut last year over hurdles. So maybe this is a horse that just comes on for the run. I'm hoping anyway, because I'm a big fan of this horse. Listen, he's not the best novice hurdler going chasing, but he's certainly my favourite. Sometimes he just fall in love with the horse, and I really like this Gaillard Du Mesnil. I don't know why, he's still young. I think he's got plenty of years ahead of him. I think he'll win plenty of Gold Cups if he's as good as I think he's going to be, hopefully. And yeah, I think this is going to be a horse to follow over the next couple of years. Like I say, I've put him up for the RSA, so I'm not going to be too discouraged from this, and I'm going to wait till I see him again before I judge him properly, because like I say, he lost his seasonal reappearance last year, albeit I remember when he got beat by Holy Macapony last season, and at that time it looked like good form. It was a good race on the clock, and Gaillard Du Mesnil took my highlights in that race. He was only a 4-year-old still then, I think. It was heavy ground, 2.5 miles, and he travelled so powerfully before kind of blowing up at the end, and Holy Macapony just finished the race better than him. I didn't feel that same zest from him in his chase debut, so I was a bit disappointed, but it was over 2 mile 3 furlong, and I think this horse is a stayer. I think there's enough evidence over his hurdles campaign last year to say that this horse is going to be best over 3 miles, and I'll wait to see him again. I thought he jumped okay. I know plenty of people did think he jumped okay. Excuse me. A lot of people thought, well, not a lot of people, but somebody commented on my Twitter status saying he didn't run that well, he didn't jump well at all. So it's a game of opinions, isn't it? But I don't think he ran terrible by any means, and I'll give Gaillard Du Mesnil another chance. If he's entered over 3 miles next race, I might even top back up. He's 40-1 now. I think that's ridiculous for a dual grade 2, a dual grade 1 winner, and somebody who comes second to Bob Olinger at the Cheltenham Festival. So yeah, I won't be giving up on Gaillard Du Mesnil, even though he's drifted to 40-1. I think I might take advantage of that if I do see him entered over 3 miles anytime soon. The other horse I had running that I've put up so far, or the other horses, 2 of them in the same race, Brandy Love and Take Tea. It was a funny race. Brandy Love made all of I remember, and she showed plenty of pace. Willie Mullins was saying this horse needs a trip. She might not even be a mare's novice hurdle horse. I think that's just Willie just telling lies, as always. Like we've seen that with the recent news that came out today about Appreciator staying over hurdles. Like, this stable love to tell you lies, don't they? I've actually just watched the first 15 minutes or something before, and I'll have to watch the rest of it in a minute. And this is Patrick Mullins, Barry Geraghty and Brian Cooper talking about the weekend's action over the Christmas period, and they asked Patrick Mullins what's the plan with Appreciator. He said we're going to look for a beginner's chase with him soon, and this must have only been recorded yesterday. Surely it just shows that you can't believe a word this stable says. And listen, we don't have no God-given right to know anything from this stable, but I just mean take it with a pinch of salt always, as we all know. Like the Mullins stable, they just tell porkies, don't they? They just love lying. And I think it's the same with this Brandy Love. I think Willie Mullins has been trying to put us off that she actually is a mare's novice hurdle horse, because he was saying she needs a trip, she needs this, she needs that. She showed plenty of pace here. She's absolutely destroyed this field. Take Tea ran a funny race. She travelled into the race strongly, And then just 2 out of it, remember, she just kind of, she looked like she was coming to win the race, and then just kind of pitted out, and I think she finished 5th. So maybe that horse just needs to run, and I wouldn't be giving up on her either. But Brandy Love, I put her up at 25 to 1, only 0.5 points. Like I say, a little speculative one early on in the season. I think she's 10 to 1 now, something like this. But yeah, I'm happy with my 0.5 to, points, 25 to 1. If she comes out and wins again, she could be 6 to 1, and if she looks the real deal, I'll top back up another point or two near at the time. But I thought she looked really classy. She's always come with a big reputation. She didn't maybe show her over bumpers. I think she only ran twice. I think she won a bumper, and then she finished 3rd at the Dublin Racing Festival. But yeah, looks a proper tour, and I'm happy to have her on the team. And I think that's it for my horses that have ran over the last couple of weeks. Like I say, I won't touch on all the action, but I do want to touch on Champ. I couldn't have Champ. I just think I fancied Time Hill. Like, I didn't get a chance to get one of these videos up, but all my friends will know that I fancied Time Hill, and I had a good little bet on him. But yeah, I thought Champ won with loads in hands. He ran keen, and then he got to the front, and then he pulls out more when Time Hill came for him. And I don't think Time Hill will reverse that form, I'll be honest. If Champ does go the stayers route, I think Champ should go the stayers route rather than the Gold Cup. I know a lot of people are saying he's a big horse, he's built like a chaser, blah blah blah, but he's just had so many problems over fences, and I just think he's just beat all that England's got to offer for that stayers hurdle. And he's also beat Ronald Pump, who kind of run a bit of a poor race. I thought he'd run better than that Ronald Pump, but you kind of looking down that market, and it's only Florian Porter and Classical Dream, who we still haven't seen yet. I've put Classical Dream up for the stayers hurdle, and hopefully we see him over this Christmas period. But I just think Champ's beats half that market already, and I just think if he's a hard horse to place and he's a hard horse to get a run in over fences, keep him over that keep him in that staying hurdle division, and I think he probably will go well. He wouldn't be my idea for a better 4 to 1, just with the recent history of being with 2 races and missing targets and missing intended targets. But like I say, I was impressed with his run in the long walk, if that's what you call it. I looked at him before the race. I still think he was 16-20 to 1, and I thought, shall I have a little saver on him in case he wins here for the stayers hurdle at Cheltenham? Because, like I've said, I have no problem in having 2 or 3 savers in a race. That's the way I like to bet at the Cheltenham Festival. I think it's extremely profitable. But I just thought to myself, no, I don't like this horse, Champ. I never really have. And I kind of wish I did take the 16s or the 20s now, because the 4s doesn't interest me. I think he might be 9 to 2 in places, and you could argue that's an okay little price, especially if you're a fan of the horse. I know everybody connected with the horse thinks he's an absolute superstar, but he just wouldn't be for me, Champ. So he's one of them horses that I'm going to just leave alone and hope that he doesn't win come March. So yeah, we'll move on to the big race, the King George. This was a wide open King George as far as I'm concerned. I would not like to back any horse in this race with confidence. I've backed a couple of horses, a few horses for this race over the last 2 years. Only small stakes, and 2 of them have made it, 2 of them haven't made it. So the horses that haven't made it are Envoy Allen and Allaho. I thought both of them were made for this race, especially Allaho. Even Envoy Allen, but after his run in the John Deacon, like I say, I'll leave this horse alone. I wouldn't be confident on this horse in any grade 1 now, until I see a lot more from him. So me bets that have made it to the King George, well, they look like they have Asterion Forlonge and Chantry House. So I backed both of these horses speculatively, not because I really fancy them, just because I backed both of these horses a long time ago, especially Asterion Forlonge. I was a big fan of him as a novice hurdler, and it was becoming quite evident that this horse needs to go right-handed, and a couple of people were saying, King George, King George. I felt this myself, so I had a little bet on him at 50 to 1, Asterion Forlonge to the King George. Since then, since I placed the bet, he's ran about 7 or 8 times, and I've completely went off this bet. The only time I think he's shown anything I could say he could be competitive in the King George was last time, funnily enough, when he fell in the John Deacon. But he fell, that's the thing. Like, it was impressive, he was travelling all over the field, he looked the winner, didn't he? But there was still a couple of fences to be jumped, and we know Allaho's a hard horse to pass. But listen, yeah, I'm sitting on 50s, and if he makes it round, he's going to be bang there, I believe, but I don't think he'll make it round. I'm happy to have that little bet on 50s in case he does, but if anybody asked me, would he be a good bet at 11 to 2 for the King George, I'd say no. There's 18 fences, I think, to negotiate, and I just think at championship pace, the odds are this horse is going to fall, and it definitely wouldn't be entertaining 11 to 2 about a stadium for lunch. But like I say, I'm happy with my small bets on 50s, and if he wins, I won't be complaining. Chantry House is another one, 11 to 2. I think that's skinny enough. He's improving. He's won his last 4 or 5 runs, but I just think he's got to improve to Clan de Solvo and Manella Inzo's level, and this is his first chance to race in this open age championship level. I've put Chantry House up in these videos for the Gold Cup because I think he'll get experience in races like this. He'll keep on improving throughout the season, and I think the Gold Cup's made for him. I know plenty of people think that he's more a King George horse than a Gold Cup horse, but I'm the opposite. I just think this horse is quite lethargic. He seems to jump well, he stays, he just keeps plodding along, he travels well, and I think this is the type of novice that could get in a good rhythm without too many miles on the clock in the Gold Cup, keep jumping, keep staying with them, and maybe win the race. Like I said, I've put him up for maybe more heart over head, because it's going to be a big ask to beat Manella Inzo and a Plutarch, but I like going with the novice in the Gold Cup, and I'm interested to see how Chantry House runs. I hope he gives a good account of himself here and he can build on it for the Gold Cup, and if he wins, even better, as long as he doesn't look too pacey. No, I think he'll stay. A lot of people don't think he's going to stay in the Gold Cup. I think he's staying. I'm going to go out there and say that. But they're my 2 bets, 16 to 1 or 14 to 1. I'm on Chantry House for the King George. So if him or a Stadium for Lunch win, I'm happy, but I wouldn't be backing any of them at 11 to 2 now. Lost in Translation is 10 to 1, and listen, you can make the angle with him with the revival at the Tizzards, blah blah blah. He's got some good back form. He placed in a Gold Cup. He's a Betfair Chase winner. He's a 10-year-old, I think, and I wouldn't entertain him at 10 to 1 personally, and I actually would be surprised if he won. Beneath him, I think we have seen Calvados, Dashel Thrasher. I can't remember some of the other horses. I'm sorry, I don't really give any of them a chance. To be honest, like I say, the top 2 in the market look solid. Clan de Solvo's coming here off the back of 2 really impressive runs at the back end of last season, excuse me, and he loves this race, doesn't he? He's won it 2 times in the last 3 years, I believe. I think he has, yeah. Last year, I think Nichols said he left the race behind in the Betfair Chase, and he was a bit tired coming into the King George, so maybe he has excuses, but he still ran third, I think, and still ran a good race, and yeah, it's just... So what price is he? Let me just check what price, because I think they're buying for favouritism in Manella Inzo, and so I'm just going to stop this video 2 seconds. Sorry about that, lack of preparation as always. It's tried to just memorise the market. I was having a little look before I made the video, but I couldn't remember who was favourite, and if you go off the best price, Clan de Solvo was 11 to 4, slightly flavoured over Manella Inzo for this race, and it's probably fair. I do think Manella Inzo is the best horse in the race, but I've never thought he was a King George horse, I'll be honest with you. Like I've mentioned it in the previous videos, I would have been dead against him if you asked me a couple of weeks ago. I was thinking, like, I can't have him. It was like when, I don't want to compare these horses together because Manella Inzo is so much better than Santini, but when Nicky Henderson entered Santini for this race last season, I think it was just never going to suit that track. I know Manella Inzo is a much better horse, and of course he's a faster horse, he's a more classy horse than Santini. But I just still think this could be a bit sharp for him. He's a good jumper, and listen, he's got the gears to be competitive, but he is growing on me a little bit. Like, I was dead against him a couple of weeks ago, Manella Inzo, but the closer it's getting to the race, I just keep looking at it thinking, I think he probably is the best horse in the race. Manella Inzo, he's a Gold Cup winner, and Emily Bromhead's not sending him over here for nothing. Like, he knows more than me, do you know what I mean? And I think, going back to Santini, I think Nicky Henderson was just trying anything with Santini, trying to sharpen him up. Manella Inzo surely just needs sharpening up. It's not like he's a horse on a downgrade, and maybe he is just running in here, Henry de Bromhead, just to get him that bit sharper for the Cheltenham Festival, because he is more of a spring horse, and he takes a couple of runs to get fit, Manella Inzo. But yeah, like I said, I was being dead against him a couple of weeks ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if Manella Inzo won now. Like I say, I think he's the best horse in the race. He's a Gold Cup winner, represents top connections. He's a quality horse, but at 3 to 1, I just think I'd leave Manella Inzo. I just don't think this is the right race for him, but say one more time, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he won. It's that type of race, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them won. And then Clan de Solvo, like I say, he's coming into this race off the back of 2 good runs last season, and who could put you off Clan de Solvo? I know a lot of people have been really keen on this horse for a long way out, because it's kind of, I won't say his whole season revolves around this, because he won at Concertista in 80 last season, but like, he's not, when I think of Clan de Solvo, I think as a dual King George winner, so who's to say he won't make a 3 this time? Frodon, I've never liked this horse. He's 9 to 2. I say I've never liked him. I'm always saying he's overrated, but if you look at the bare facts of it, he's not overrated. He's a King George winner, he's a Ryanair winner, he's already won a Grade 1 this season. Albeit Menello wasn't race fit at that point, and you could make the argument that was Frodon's Gold Cup. His trainer said it himself. I'm always against Frodon. Listen, I wish I did like this horse because he's an admirable horse. He's an amazing jumper. He's won a lot of people a lot of money because he's quite an active horse. You know, he's won big handicaps. He's won Grade 1s, so he's been a great horse to follow over the years. But I just can't take to him. I don't know why. Some horses you like, some horses you don't. I'm going to be against Frodon again here on the weekend, but again, if he won, I wouldn't be surprised. It's that type of race. I'm happy to just sit and watch this with my 2 anti-post bets that I placed a long time ago. Moving on to the Kauto Star, I think this is the race before, or 2 races before. Like I've mentioned in the previous videos, I'm on Braveman's Gate 12 to 1 here. It's probably my whole Christmas period revolves around this because this would be, this is probably my best bet. I've got like the equivalent of like 4 points on him at 12 to 1, or maybe most of it at 12 to 1 and then some at 10 to 1. I'm not sure, but I backed him in March. After the Cheltenham Festival, I thought he just looks tailor-made for this type of race. Nichols loves targeting this meeting. And I was going to say he won it with top of the game a couple of years ago, but La Bagarra actually won that race, didn't it? But yeah, I think Braveman's Game will win here, but I prefer it if Ahoy Senor stays away. I'm horrible like this. I've mentioned in previous videos I was over the moon when a Energamine came out of the Arkle last year because I had Shishkin and all my bets at great prices. I know I'm making these videos and everybody who's watching these videos are passionate about national hunt racing. And so I should really be talking about the great racing, but if you ask me, I'd rather Ahoy Senor not run so that my bet has the best chance possible of coming in over the Christmas period, because like I say, if Braveman's Game wins the Kauto Star, then no matter what happens, I'm going to have an extremely good Christmas betting wise. But if Ahoy Senor does turn up, I suppose it's kind of a win-win situation, because even though my bets will be jeopardised, we should be in for a cracker. And look like Eric Cantona there with this collar sticking up, but it's just the way it settles. But I'll just leave it like that because it's too hot in here. But I just caught a little look at myself there, looking like Elvis Presley or someone like this, Eric Cantona. But even if Ahoy Senor does turn up, like it'd be a cracker, but I would still fancy Braveman's Game. I think he's the better jumper. I think he's the speedier horse. I think the track will suit him more. Listen, this Ahoy Senor, if he won, I wouldn't be surprised. The connections are talking about the Gold Cup for him. He looks a serious horse. Apparently, he's clocked amazing times. Is winning the John Frankham at Newbury. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Braveman's Game wins this, and that's not just my pocket talking, because usually I get a little bit nervous and start making points for the other horse. But no, I do think Braveman's Game will win this. I've liked what I've seen over fences so far. I thought this would be a step down for him after he's been racing in graduation chases against open age Grade 1 horses like Itchy Feet, but it doesn't look like a step down at all if Ahoy Senor turns up. But connections have said it depends on the ground, so I'm hoping for some dry ground so Ahoy Senor can stay away from my Braveman's Game bets. As far as the rest of the market's concerned, I think this looks a 2-horse race. I think Nichols has got 300 through 5 in here. I don't know if he'll go for this race, but we'll see. But yeah, Braveman's Game all the way for me. So moving on, let me just see. I did type down a couple of notes because I just ramble because I have no structure to my videos. So I think Epitaph will win the English Christmas Hurdle. Like I say, I gave her one more chance last time and I wasn't impressed when she dead heated with Not So Sleepy. I wasn't a big fan of that performance at all. But I do think she'll get the better than Not So Sleepy here. I don't know what else is definitely going to turn up, but I think this will almost be Epitaph's champion hurdle for the season, because I can't see her being able to compete with Honeysuckle in the spring once again. So I think she'll be all out to win this. And obviously we have the news now that Appreciated is stepping back over hurdles. So I think Appreciated could be a little bit disappointing over hurdles, because I think he's being a bit messed around. Maybe, like I say, the more unstable lies, and maybe it's been the plan always to go over hurdles and he hasn't even had a setback. But I just think I can see Appreciated just chasing Honeysuckle home all season, and I just think Honeysuckle's, she's not going to be under no extra threat now that with this new news about Appreciated. She's just going to batter everyone, I think, in that champion hurdle division. She's just amazing, isn't she? Especially getting that £7. I'm not worrying over my Honeysuckle champion hurdle bets anyway. I am a bit gutted about that news with Appreciated. Like I've been saying since the first video, most of my bets in the Arkle have always been Ferny Hollow. I've put them up in my very first video of this series of videos towards the Cheltenham Festival. I put a point up at 11 to 1. But I also covered Appreciate It in a one point double. Appreciate It for the Arkle and Honeysuckle for the Champion Hurdle, in case anything was to happen to Ferny Hollow in the lead up to Cheltenham. I haven't got that luxury now. All my ammunition's on Ferny Hollow, not just in these videos. I've only put Ferny Hollow up 0.11 to 1 in these videos. In my personal bets now, Ferny Hollow, I've got him in all my multiples, I've got him at big prices, singles, blah blah blah. I need this horse to get here now. Whereas if Appreciate It was still going chasing and he did go the Arkle, I had nice cover on Appreciate It. I had him in nice doubles with Bob Olinger and Honeysuckle. I had him at 14 to 1 to win any chase. So I am a bit nervous now that Ferny Hollow, a horse that had problems last year, is carrying all my money for the Arkle. But he's running over the Christmas period. I believe he's an intended runner against Riviere de Tel. Listen, he's going to be giving a lot of weight away, but I want him to go and win this race, and I want him to go and win it impressively. And I think the stable think the same. I think the stable think a lot of this horse. And listen, his back form's there for everyone to see, and I really do hope he can go and win. I think he's 2 to 1 at the moment already for the Arkle, which is really short off the back of that Appreciated news. And listen, value means nothing until he go and win. I've put him up at 11 to 1 in these videos, and he's 2 to 1 now, so I'm happy with that. If he goes and beats Riviere de Tel, given air weight, the bookies are shorting him even more. We know what he's like. I just hope he wins the race and he comes back safe and sound, and all roads lead to the Arkle, hopefully. I'm going to be really boring here once again. I've went for the favourite Epitante, I went for the favourite Ferny Hollow. I'm going to go for the favourite in the Savile Chase. A Plutard will win this easily, in my opinion. Like, I think maybe he won't win it as easily as when he was racing against the Irish in the Betfair Chase, but I think he's going to win this easily enough. And I might do a little short price treble, Epitante, Ferny Hollow and a Plutard. I'll wait to see when the declarations come out, what prices they are. Nothing set in stone yet. I haven't placed any bets besides those 3 anti-post bets on Brave Man's Game, Asterion Falange and Chantry House, blah blah blah. I haven't done anything else yet. I'm going to wait for the declarations, but I just don't think I get time to get this video in any other time than today. So I'm kind of just guessing which horses are going where, but I do believe Epitante, Ferny Hollow, a Plutard, these are the intended targets. Hopefully we'll see Classical Dream out. We still haven't seen him since his demolition at the Punchestown Festival last year, and I'm hoping he shows his face, he shows he's alive and well, and he can go and win this. I think it's also called the Christmas Hurdle, even though it's 3 miles. I always get mixed up because the Christmas Hurdle in England is 2 miles and the Christmas Hurdle in Ireland is, I believe, 3 miles. But yeah, if it's called the Christmas Hurdle anyway, I'm hoping to see Classical Dream. I hope he wins. And listen, he's going to shorten. Like I say, its value means nothing, but I've backed him at 6 to 1. He's already shortened in this market just off the back of a few disappointing runs off his nearest rivals, like Gallyhill when he lost in France, and Florida Porter, and I think he fell in a race won by Durasso, I think. I can't remember. But listen, yeah, I'm rambling on again. I just hope Classical Dream shows he's alive and well. And I've only put a point on him 6 to 1 because he's a fragile horse, but if he can get cut into 2 to 1, and it can be the week before the Cheltenham Festival, I can go back in 2 points, and I've already got the head start on the 6 to 1. But I'm a massive fan of Classical Dream. I love the horse. So hopefully, like I say, we can see him out over Christmas. This future champions 2 mile novice hurdle, it's a guessing game who's going to run. I doubt to get hard to be thrown in here on his first start over hurdles. Probably be a rematch between Kilcruit and Loggy Debut. Who knows? You'd expect Kilcruit to run a lot better. I was thinking, yeah, maybe he'd just come on for the run. But then I remember that when somebody asked Patrick Mullins or Willie Mullins to compare Appreciate It and Kilcruit, because they're both connections, both same stable, both absolute demolition job at the Dublin Racing Festival. And one of those, I think it might have been Patrick, or it might have been Willie, it was one of them anyway, said the big difference between these 2 horses is that Kilcruit's easy to get fit. So that was worrying, I think. With Kilcruit, that he should have been fit and he got annihilated by Laggy Debut. And I don't think nothing's come to light about him finishing lane or anything like this. And even when Willie Mullins was interviewed, he said, oh, I think we just run into a good horse, and no excuses or anything. Like when Shishkin came back, I know it was more disappointing, Shishkin, the open age, like proven grade 1 horse, coming last in the Tingle Creek, but they were saying his back is sore, he's got sore back legs, blah, 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 making a lot of excuses. No excuses for this Kilcruit. And that worried me a little bit. So maybe his Kilcruit not been working the house down over the summer, I don't know, but I'll wait to see him again before I judge him. But he's better than that, surely. Kilcruit, isn't he? Like I say, like that bumper form last year and his demolition in the Dublin Racing Festival. I'm really hoping he's in my 10 to follow. Kilcruit, so is Appreciated, and this is me 10 to follow for the toast. Like I mentioned, I won this competition last year. I got me a little £5,000 prize, and obviously full of confidence. I thought I'll win that again. And I've had a bad start. I've had Shishkin running an absolute stinker in the single fee. Appreciated dropping back over hurdles. I don't like that, like I've mentioned. I thought over fences he'd win like maybe 2 grade ones, rack me some points up. I think he'll just chase Honeysuckle home all season now. Could be a waste of horse for me. And now, also, I forgot what else was going on about here. Let me just pause this. Kilcruit, that's how much I ramble on. I just start losing myself in my own mind. But Kilcruit, yeah, he's also me 10 to follow, and I didn't like that start at all. So he best buff his ideas up to get me back in this £5,000. And I paid a fiver to enter the world pool this time. So I was dreaming of this £100,000 winning. I couldn't have had a worse start, and I don't have a Plutard either in my team. And obviously, a Plutard's come out and got a lot of people points for his winning the Betfair Chase, and he could rack up more points over Christmas here. So it's time for some of my horses to start getting some points on the board for my team. Hopefully, we'll see Shishkin out. Nicky Henderson has said he's not absolutely guaranteed to run, but he's been working nicely. When they scoped him, he's clear now in his whatever that word is beginning with trachea. Something about the throat. I think I'm no expert with horses autonomy or the inside of horses, but everything's looking good now. But Nicky did say he could wait for the Clarence House, and I just want Shishkin to show he's alive and well. Nicky just really scares me the way he campaigns these horses these days. He absolutely destroyed Champs season last year. He destroyed Altior's, but listen, that's just 2 examples, and there's plenty of examples before where Nicky Henderson has got it absolutely spot on, and he's trained champion chase winner after champion chase winner. So my faith is still in Nicky, but I do want to see Shishkin show he's alive and well. He is a horse that is in tons of my, like a lot of the bets that I done before last year's Cheltenham Festival included Shishkin. He's in a lot of my lucky 15s at 5 to 1, 6 to 1. I've got a single on him at 33 to 1, and it's just Shishkin does. If Shishkin wins, I'll have a good Cheltenham Festival. It's as simple as that. And it was the same last year. Shishkin and Monkfish paid for the whole festival for me. Everything else was profit, and I'm kind of hoping that again with Shishkin this season. And Energamines came out. He's looked absolutely phenomenal against Notebook and Cole, giving them weight, and it's time for Shishkin to come out and stake his claims. And yeah, just to ease a bit of my nerves anyway. So yeah, we also have the 2 mile Grade 1 chase over Christmas. I'm not sure who's going to go for this. Is it going to be Shishkin Bourgeois? Is it going to be Energamine? I think Envoy Allen's dropping back into this. I don't even want to touch on that at this point because I just don't know who's going to be running. But if Energamine runs in that and it's another demolition job, then I wouldn't be surprised if he was co-favourite with Shishkin, and rightly so. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much. It's already rambles on too much once again. I'm not going to put no bets up in this video. I was toying with, like I say, I've mentioned all the time, this Hollow Games is giving me nightmares in case he goes to the Ballymore instead of the Albert Bartlett, because the same connections is stable. I've got this Ginto to juggle, and I was debating doing 0.5 points on Hollow Games to the Ballymore in this video, 28 to 1. I've never thought he was a Ballymore horse, Hollow Games, and I still don't. I think he's an Albert Bartlett horse, so I'm going to just stick with that. But this Ballymore is an half looking weak, and no horses came out and stated his claim in this division as far as I'm concerned so far. The way in the Supreme, we've got John Bond, Constitution Hill, blah, blah, blah. It's just, etc. shall I say, I'm saying blah, blah, blah. A lot in this video, I don't know why I sound like a sheep. But, yeah, just this Ballymore, I just wouldn't be surprised, especially if it turns up soft on the day, if Hollow Games drop back into this Ballymore. And I've been banging on about him since the first video almost, and I do think it would be wise for me to cover him for the Ballymore. I have him my own personal bet, but yeah, I just think he will go the Albert Bartlett. But before he runs again next, I might consider putting him up in these videos, only 0.5 points as a cover bet in case he drops back into this Ballymore, because the Albert Bartlett could end up looking really strong. You could have Journey With Me, Classic Getaway, Ginto, Hollow Games, Jerry Column, who knows. Kilcruit could go all the way up and stuff. I highly doubt it, but Yeah, at this point, I do think it would be worth having a little bit of a cover bet just in case Gordon Elliott thinks, hold on, I've got a few darts here, I'll drop one back into the Ballymore and try and win the Ballymore because it looks less competitive. But I'll wait until Hollow Games is next enter before I consider having a saver. Even Jerry Columb, I was half tempted. I've never been like an amazing fan of this horse, but I believe he clocked some good times in bumpers. And he also is entered at Down Royal over the weekend, and he's 33 to 1 for the Ballymore. I just think this Ballymore is the type of market whereas if it's only a maiden, I think, which Jerry Columb's running in, but if he goes and wins impressively by 6-7 lengths for them connections, I think he cost a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised if he was 16-20 to 1 after the weekend if he wins the race, of course. And I just think there's a lot of horses that could just collapse in this Ballymore market. And I've played this in my personal bets. I've played this race like a roulette. I haven't got a big bet on any horse. I've just got 5s and 10s on about 4 horses in this race. And I might have a little £5 on Jerry Columb at 33 to 1, because why not? You can still make incredible profit in the race by backing 5 horses in the same race, of course you can. I do it for years. I know a lot of people do it. A lot of people think, you know, they can't look themselves in the mirror if they back more than one horse in one race. Good for you, but most of my money's came off backing multiple horses in races, and I just think this Jerry Columb, he was kind of minded last year in his bumper campaign. He didn't go to Cheltenham, and yeah, they took the time with him this year. He's out now. I think he is intended to run over Christmas, and if he wins impressively, he's not going to be 33 to 1 for the Ballymore. He'll be 16s, knowing the bookies in an open market like this, maybe even 12s. Like, the bookies are just absolutely scum, aren't they? So I just like I say, yeah, but there's still going to be horses maybe to come for France that we haven't seen yet, like Gaillard Du Mesnil. I do not think he has made his debut at this point last year, and he ended up being prominent in the Ballymore betting. And towards the top of the market, we have Dysart Dynamo. We don't know what's happening with Kill Cruz and Segerhard. Surely one of them will go here. Who knows? I think a lot of the after Dysart Dynamo, Segerhard, Kill Cruz, though, I don't think a lot of the next in the betting are going to go here. I think Mighty Potter, even though a lot of people are saying after the Royal Bond run he's shaped like a Ballymore horse, but I do think he'll go for the Supreme. I just think he wants a strongly run Supreme, and I don't think he wants 2 mile 5 personally, but we'll see. You've got JD with me prominence in this market. I don't think he's going to go here either. I'll try and get a little, just before I finish this video off now, just so I don't have to pause it, I will just get the Ballymore market up so I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so you've got Constitution Hill and John Bon in this market around 12 to 1 and 14 to 1. They're both going to go to Supreme, aren't they? Definitely. Classic Getaway, I've covered him in this, but I think he's going to go for the Bartlett. Kill Cruz, who knows? Journey with me, I think he'll go for the Bartlett, but this could be another horse who senses an opportunity, or the trainer senses the opportunity and drops him back into the Ballymore if it's looking weak. Because I think at this stage the Albert Bartlett's looking a lot better than the Ballymore. And Statute probably going to go for the Mare's Novice, laggy debut. Could come here, but probably go to Supreme if he's being campaigned over 2 miles. And yeah, I just think it's not a bad market to play this, backing a few at big prices, because if one of them comes out and wins, could be, even if they don't have a good season, you could have horses here on the day that are 6 to 1 just because of the lack of competition. But like I say, it's 3 months out to the Ballymore. You've still got a lot of horses to come out, and listen, it could be one of the most competitive races at the meeting by the time it swings round, but I doubt it, because at the moment the Supreme looks rock solid, with Nicky Henderson having Constitution Hill, John Bon, Segerhard could go there still. The Albert Bartlett looks strong, and I do think this looks the weakest at this point of the 3 novice hurdles. But that's me anyway, because just rambling on now. I hope you all have a great Christmas, no matter what you're up to. Hopefully the racing's amazing, and hopefully I'm not too hungover. Last year, normally for Boxing Day, I'm just like trying to stay awake as I'm watching the racing. But this year, obviously, I'm in Colombia. It's only me and my girlfriend. We'll be going for a drink, but I'm not going to get too hammered. And hopefully, I can enjoy the racing over this Christmas period. And yeah, can't wait for it. So all the best, everyone. Thank you for the people that have watched these videos since the start, and Merry Christmas to you all. Bye.